10 wildlife reserves worth visiting. Did you know that over 1 million species face extinction right now, many within mere decades, unless we act fast? That's not a plot from a dystopian sci-fi movie. It's the real world we live in. And yet, scattered across the globe, there are still breathtaking sanctuaries where nature thrives, wild animals roam free, and ecosystems remain untouched by the chaos of modern life. These are not just protected parks, they're living, breathing chapters of Earth's original storybook. Today we're diving into 10 of the most awe-inspiring wildlife reserves on the planet. These places don't just protect animals, they challenge us to see the world differently. Whether you're an adventurer with a camera, a conservationist at heart, or just someone who wants a break from concrete jungles, these reserves will leave you speechless and maybe a little sunburned. So buckle up, hit that like button, and let's start this wild ride. Serengeti National Park, Tanzania. The Serengeti isn't just a park, it's an arena of life and death where nearly 2 million wildebeest migrate in one of the greatest natural spectacles on Earth. Picture this, a golden sea of grass stretching beyond the horizon, dotted with lions lounging like royalty, and elephants marching as if rehearsing for a parade. But it's not all postcard perfect. Poaching, climate change, and land encroachment constantly threaten this delicate ecosystem. In fact, over the past decade, lion populations across Africa have dropped by nearly 43%. A sobering reminder that even protected areas aren't safe from human impact. And yet, standing on those plains, it's hard not to feel like you've stepped into a David Attenborough documentary. Ever tried setting up a tent while zebras stroll by? It's equal parts majestic and mildly terrifying. Just remember, this is real wilderness. Yellowstone National Park, USA. Yellowstone is where fire, ice, and fur meet. It's the world's first national park, established in 1872, and it's still rewriting the rules of conservation today. Geysers erupt like clockwork, bison roam highways like they own them, and honestly, they kind of do. And grizzly bears don't care about your Instagram story. But Yellowstone isn't without controversy. Its wolf reintroduction program, once hailed as revolutionary, sparked decades of debate among ranchers, scientists, and environmentalists. And with rising tourism, over 4.5 million visitors a year, the balance between preservation and popularity is getting tricky. Ever try finding a parking spot near Old Faithful in July? You'll see more traffic than in downtown LA. Banff National Park, Canada. Banff is basically a Bob Ross painting come to life, except with more grizzlies and fewer happy little trees. Set in the heart of the Canadian Rockies, it boasts turquoise lakes, snow-capped peaks, and enough alpine beauty to make your jaw drop and your camera overheat. But here's the twist. Banff is also a cautionary tale. With over 4 million visitors annually, the park faces intense pressure from tourism. Roads and railways have fragmented wildlife corridors, leading to accidents and stress for species like the elusive wolverine. And let's not forget the human behavior factor. Selfies with wild animals, still a thing, sadly, but don't let the Instagrammers ruin it for you. There are still hidden gems if you're willing to hike a few extra miles. Pantanal, Brazil. Imagine an area the size of Washington State, teeming with jaguars, capybaras, and the kind of bird life that makes you wish you'd paid more attention in biology class. That's the Pantanal. Often overshadowed by the Amazon, but arguably the best place on Earth to spot wild animals in their natural habitat. It's a wetland, yes, but don't let the name fool you. It floods seasonally, creating a watery maze that supports a mind-blowing range of biodiversity. Unfortunately, it's also one of the most threatened ecosystems in South America. Rampant wildfires in 2020 burned over 30% of the region, devastating habitats and wildlife. And with agricultural expansion knocking at its borders, the clock is ticking. Still, cruising through the Pantanal in a flatboat, locking eyes with a jaguar sunning itself on the riverbank feels like peeking behind nature's curtain. Kruger National Park, South Africa. Kruger is Africa's wild heart. Spanning nearly 7,500 square miles, it's home to the Big Five and a few dozen species you probably didn't know existed. Like the pangolin, a creature that looks like a walking pine cone but is tragically the most trafficked mammal in the world. Kruger isn't just a tourist spot, it's a battleground. Poaching, especially of rhinos, is a daily crisis here. Despite anti-poaching units and surveillance drones, more than 500 rhinos were killed in South Africa in 2023 alone. Visiting Kruger is a wake-up call. It's thrilling, but also sobering. You might watch a lion pride feast on a wildebeest just 20 feet from your Jeep, but you'll also see the armored vehicles protecting park rangers. Chitwan National Park, Nepal. Hidden in the lowlands of Nepal, Chitwan is a lush, subtropical escape from the Himalayas' icy glare. It's one of the few places in the world where you can spot Bengal tigers, one-horned rhinos, and Asian elephants all in the same afternoon. But Chitwan's success hasn't come easy. In the early 2000s, rhino numbers were plummeting. Now, thanks to intense anti-poaching efforts, they've rebounded significantly. However, the balance is fragile. Human-wildlife conflict is on the rise as villages expand into buffer zones, and tourism, while a lifeline for local communities, sometimes pushes the park's limits. Riding elephants used to be a top attraction. Now it's seen as unethical, and many tour companies are shifting to more responsible options. Still, there's something surreal about floating silently in a canoe as a mugger crocodile basks on the bank. Ranthambore National Park, India. If tigers had a royal palace, Ranthambore would be it. This former hunting ground for Indian royalty is now a fortress for one of the most endangered big cats on the planet, the Bengal tiger. The landscape is straight out of a fantasy novel. Ancient fort ruins, tangled forests, and watering holes that serve as dramatic arenas for predator and prey. But behind this postcard beauty lies a very real struggle. Tiger numbers in India have improved, with over 3,000 now in the wild, but the pressure on their habitats is immense. Poaching, illegal mining, and human encroachment loom large. And tourism, while crucial for funding, sometimes crosses ethical lines. Jeeps crowding around a single tiger for the perfect shot, stressing out the very animals they came to admire. Don't be that person. Okavango Delta, Botswana. Ever wanted to see the African wilderness from the seat of a dugout canoe while hippos grunt in the background and elephants wade through reeds just yards away? Welcome to the Okavango Delta, a literal oasis in the Kalahari Desert that bursts into life each year when floodwaters from Angola sweep in. It's one of the few places on Earth where you can experience a safari by water, and trust me, there's nothing quite like gliding silently past a crocodile sunning itself on a mud bank. But even paradise has its problems. Climate change is threatening the rhythm of the floods, and new oil exploration projects nearby could spell disaster for this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Botswana has done an exceptional job with conservation, but even strong policies aren't invincible. Kinabatangan River, Borneo. The Kinabatangan River isn't just a waterway, it's a wildlife highway running through one of the most biodiverse places on the planet. Orangutans swing through the trees, pygmy elephants shuffle along the banks, and proboscis monkeys peer out like wise old philosophers with funny noses. But don't let the Instagram potential fool you. This region has been hammered by deforestation for palm oil plantations. What's left is a narrow corridor of habitat, and animals are being squeezed tighter every year. In some places, the river is the only safe route they have left. This creates rare and intimate wildlife encounters, but also heartbreakingly visible signs of ecological stress. So yes, your sunrise boat ride will be unforgettable. Kakadu National Park, Australia. Kakadu is Australia's wild soul. Massive, ancient, and humming with stories. This is where crocs rule the rivers. Rock art tells 20,000 years of Aboriginal history, and the landscape shifts from floodplains to sandstone cliffs in the blink of an eye. It's also where modern environmental issues meet ancient land rights. Indigenous rangers play a key role in preserving both the park's ecosystems and its cultural heritage, showing the world what true land stewardship looks like. But climate change, invasive species, and outdated tourism models are putting Kakadu under pressure. Fires, once part of traditional land management, are now harder to control. And yes, it's hot, like Cannaboil, Lauder on my dull dot. Hot. If this journey inspired you or even made you Google where Borneo is, no shame, then give this video a like. Smash that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world's most extraordinary places. Got a favorite reserve or one we missed? Drop it in the comments. We read every single one. Share this with someone who needs a break from the city grind and a reminder that nature still has stories to tell.